Hello everyone. Sorry for the late upload. Today I'm going to be talking about what it is like to live with a disability that many people don't know about. So hopefully this video will reach people and will spread awareness. When I was a very young child, 1 or 2 years old, I was being babysat by my grandmother. And she saw that I had a lazy eye, so I was taken to the optometrist where they, I guess, ran some tests on me. I don't know, I was not old enough to remember, but what I do know is that they ended up putting me under and through an MRI where they found that my left and my right brain are not separated. The part of like the little curtain between them is not there, which causes septo-optic dysplasia slash de-Moser syndrome, and it's why my eyes are not like are very impaired, and why my motor skills are even more impaired, I guess. I can write, but I cannot write with very good handwriting. However, I can spell, and I'm very literate. Like, I'm very, very literate, but I just have bad handwriting because of my motor skills. And most people who were born with de-Moser syndrome or septo-optic dysplasia cannot see very much of anything at all, but I can. This eye, I have many blind spots in. This eye, my left eye, or yeah, I can see almost perfectly out of. At least I think I can, but I've never had not impaired eyes. Septo-optic dysplasia is not a degenerative disease, nor is it a disease that you, or not disease, disability that you can require. I guess I wouldn't call it a disease. I'd much prefer to call it a disability because it doesn't hurt me physically. Like, I'm not in pain from it. It is linked with autism. For me, I don't know if I have autism. I'm waiting on currently a assessment, because many people in my life think that I'm autistic, and my counselor's trying to, once she thinks that I would fit the criteria. My mother thinks I have it, but I'm not diagnosed, so I don't know for sure. And also, many people who have septo-optic dysplasia are uncoordinated. I do not have issues with my coordination, but some people who have it have a lot of issues with their coordination. But like, I can walk and stand up pretty good. But my hand-eye coordination is not good, which I guess counts as coordination. I can't really have I can't really write fast on anything, which I guess many people might have issues with, but if I try to write at a good speed, it will come out messy, if not illegible. Some people are embarrassed about their disabilities, but I never have been. I've always been very open about it, and I haven't ever really cared who knows. So it's never been a big topic that I've had to open up about, or that I've had to, like, that I felt embarrassed or bad about, you know? But Um, I've met people who do, and often when I tell them, they they will feel very bad for me, which I don't need people to feel super bad for me because I get on just fine. I guess I won't ever be able to drive, and I'm probably going to need to have like assisted living. But I'm not gonna live like in like a group home because I'm very intelligent still. Um, I'm I think like I can do almost everything my peers can. The only thing that really bugs me is that I guess I won't be able to drive, and I'm getting to the age where all my friends are getting cars and driver's licenses, but I never will. I can't smell. A lot of people who, after I tell them that I can't smell, they always react with sympathy, but I like to see it as a good thing because I grew up in a house with 6 other children. My dad and his um, fiance, and I would go from my dad's house, and then he'd, on the weekends or the weekdays, we would hang out with his fiance and her 6 children. That was exhausting. Not all of them are very small children. Some of them are older, but she had 3 kids who were younger than me, and oh my god. Oh my god. Now, I love my step siblings very, very much. I care about them. But sometimes being in a house with 6 other children and off and on at that gets crowded, and it makes you feel crowded, you know? Especially because I didn't have my own room. We did live there off and on, but I didn't really have my own room there. Um, the older kids did, but that's a topic for another video. Well, I grew up in that house, and we'd drive through this cow farm that was on the way from their house to mine, and the cow field always smelled like cow shit. It smelled so much like cow shit that everyone would complain about it smelling like cow shit. And I would never smell it. And when people get super sympathetic to me about, or like get super sad for me, I always just tell them, look, at least I don't have to smell cow shit. And I guess I can't smell flowers or freshly baked fruit, but it doesn't bug me because it's not like I lost something. Because, I always I've never had the sense anyways, so it's not like I miss it. Because I guess maybe if I had it at one point, if I could smell things at one point, maybe I'd feel differently. But I feel like now if I could wake up and smell something one day, I wouldn't, because I feel like that would be very overwhelming, especially when I've kind of made my peace with that. I guess I've always had peace with it, but I've kind of always lived without it. Um, I go to a school where the special ed department is kind of not great at all. Um, and it doesn't really help kids like me who are disabled. Um, and the staff, I don't think, are very good at helping their disabled children or their special needs children. I'm not going to say any names in case they find this. What I am gonna say though is that there is a girl who I am very good friends with, and she went to the school. She is disabled, developmentally, I guess. She's autistic. Um, and the staff there, they don't understand that we can't force her to mask her autism and be neurotypical. They get mad at her for things that she doesn't understand. She says things, and sometimes she doesn't understand what is or is not appropriate to say. Or when she stims, when she rocks back and forth and laughs very loudly, she kind of like makes noises. She'll when she stims, she has a tendency to kind of, you know, um, but a bit louder. And the staff, they always get mad at her and they yell at her and they tell her that she needs to be quiet so they can send her to out classes. Um, I get wanting to help her get her full potential, but like kids like her, are very kids who are very much like autistic and need help, like you can't just force them to mask. It hurts them. Um and they don't accommodate her really good at all. They kind of let other kids laugh at her. I remember one time she walked into a room being all happy and excited, and other kids laughed at her, and I told the kids to not laugh at her, and even the teacher defended the kids who were laughing at her. And I couldn't do anything about it because I'm a student. I can't really yell at a teacher and tell her to shut up, but that really made me mad seeing them treat her like that. I remember when I met her, I felt like I was worried that she'd struggle because I didn't know if she had out classes, and my friends, or not friends, but like people at the school, I guess I can't really call them friends at all, make fun of me. There's a bunch of kids in my math class who make fun of me. A bunch of kids in all my other classes who are just mean to me for no reason. And if they treated me like that, God knows how they'd treat her. So I wanted to be nice to her and see if her and I could maybe be friends, because I know that even if I'm not autistic, I am neurodivergent at least a little bit, and I know how hard it is to be disabled in a non-disabled world. So I thought that it would be good if her and I could be friends, and we were for a while. And there was this teacher, and I'm not gonna say her name, who was in the sped department for quite a while, or she was there for just a few weeks, but she was awesome, and she knew how to accommodate her, and she knew how to accommodate me, and she even used my correct pronouns and everything. She is very kind, but then she left, and we don't know why she left, but she did, and all of the kids who were not disabled were very pleased, and my friend and I were very sad. I remember I cried a lot the day that I found out that she was leaving. And when I was a first year student at that school, I had a teacher's aide who would follow me around, and she would tell me what to write down. in my classes. She wouldn't help me, but she would tell me what to write down and call it helping. Very often that's what she would do. And I guess if you're a student, especially if you are hard at work and you are like still not getting it, I guess you'd wish she'd do your work too, but she never let me understand anything at all. And eventually I got mad because she was doing it because I was disabled. So I had her stop, and she did, which is good. But what I am, all the teachers in the school always tried to get me to have my stuff blown up, like my papers bigger. But I don't need my papers bigger. That's not what I need. Most of my disability is from my handwriting and my fine motor skills, but no one ever cares at that school. They don't know how to accommodate that. And I guess I don't know what I'd want. It's not so much that I'm upset that I don't get accommodations for that, and more so, it just annoys me when they think that I need stuff I don't and try to push it onto me. Like when they insist that I need my stuff blown up when I don't, or when I'm spoken to like a young child, which is something that really bothers me about people often when specifically kids have autism. I've seen it, um, but I haven't really experienced much of it. Except for with the teacher's aide, but she was doing it because I was disabled differently. But with kids with autism, you see that, or you might realize that teachers or other people will maybe talk to them like this. Hi. Hello. They'll talk to them like this. How would it make you feel if somebody talked to you like this, friend? Would that make you sad? Angry? You'd punch them in the face. You would get very mad. But many disabled people, especially people who are autistic, neurodivergent, or even me in some certain circumstances, are just meant to deal with it. Well, I think that's where I'll be ending this video here, except I have two other things I'd like to say. One is that on my last video, or a few videos ago, I was told to dim my lighting, and I did. I didn't do it on purpose though, because normally I turn this on before I start my videos, and today I completely forgot. So tell me how you guys like it, or maybe if you guys don't, because I could also have it like um it can change colors. I could have it like this as well. And the last thing I'd like to say is if you guys have any questions, any at all, you can put them down in the comments and I will answer them within reason in my next video. This may be the only video I post today, as I don't think I have very much else on my mind today that is really important. but I might make a video on my world building and original characters either today or tomorrow, so I will see you guys then.